איך בונים יום מענג מבחינה אנרגטית, מילות הגרנדמאסטר. אלו התנסויות חיינו. כך אנו זוכרים אותם אחרי חודשים ושנים. רובם רגילות ודאויות, אך כמה מהם זהב. תענוג לחשוב עליהם כל יום. חשיבה עליהן מעלה את האנרגיות במעלה הצ'קרות. אנו עושים פתיחת צ'קרות עם אבני קריסטל. כן, החיים זה החוויות שאנו לוקחים איתנו. ומשתמשים בהם להעלות את הגוף האנרגטי אחד משבעת הגופים שיש לנו. Open up your chakras and smell the roses. Try it at home. Simple, step by step. For the cost of $95, we supply the crystals. Try it for a week or two. Not satisfied? Money back guaranteed. Not including shipping and handling.
You could climb the highest mountain, yeah. You could swim the widest sea, yeah. Live on the peak of self-importance, or in the valley of fortune by the lake. Perhaps to reach your sense, fortune first kill. What do you say? Join the quest to eliminate learning disabilities. Be a guide for those who seek the best. Today is just one day. Embrace the light with a net seminar, equipment in sight. Your own website to promote your dreams. Offer 1650 shekels. Follow the streams. Oh yeah. You don't need to know how to read or write. The beach says the house by the lake shines bright. First, let the stars lead the way. Together we'll rise, seize the day. Take a step, let your spirit soar. With every challenge you learn and explore. Unlock the doors to your hidden potential in this journey. Every moment is essential. It's just one day. Embrace the light with the net seminar, equipment in sight. Oh, your rabbit sight to promote your dreams. Offer 1650 shekels. Follow the stream. Climb the mountains, swim the sea. Swim the sea. In this quest we'll find unity. Unity. With hearts aligned, we'll pave the path. Guided by hope, we'll conquer the past. Today's just one day. Embrace the light. With the next seminar, equipment inside.
With Dr. Ben Al-Kaheh, a mind scientist from the Weizmann Institute, Israel, and Professor Beth Otten, a world-leading neuromechanics scientist from the Medical Faculty of Groningen in the Netherlands.
With us, a scientist gentleman, you might want to present himself. Sir, your name?
I'm Bert Otten
Bert Otten.
from the Medical Faculty of the University of Groningen.
medical faculty and university.
Research on movement control in patients and healthy people, and I do research on sports like speed skating.
Okay, so fields that are familiar to Barclays Investment Group. We started a very interesting conversation here. We talked about a point of how many how many sensors you put on the brain to see the full function?
128.
You need 128 sensors, electrodes, to see, to detect some movement in the brain. That movement, let's say, was a decision for somebody, and we just gave an example. I don't know if it was a good one. I feel like I gotta go pee. I decide, okay, now the conversation's okay to go. I go. From the point I said go until I move, the scientist Bert said he could detect that 1 second before.
Yeah, 1 second before you actually go, I measure changes in potential on your skull. And it's called a readiness potential. It means that you're ready to move.
Readiness potential is to determine a change on the skull, and then will follow the movement. But you knew that already. You didn't know exactly what he was thinking, right, because in the mind we had long way to go for that. Right. But we knew there was a decision. Later we knew, oh, that was probably he wanted really to go to the bathroom. He had the, and then we talked about another thing, that the much faster force, a much faster react is a reaction to a cause.
That's right. That's right. If you are programmed to react to some signal, like the motion of your opponent or the green light in traffic, then you will be much faster. You will be much faster than when the decision needs to be made by yourself to start to move. That's different.
The decision will be faster, and the example we gave is the Wild West, a nice example.
Yeah, if you have the nerve to wait for your opponent to make tiny movements because he's ready to shoot, and you react to that, you're faster.
You concentrate in the hands of your opponent, that's what they probably used to do.
Or any other motion of the head, or
any other motion in the eyes or anything. They had the tricks, probably each and every one of them, to see anything moves, and from that he knew he could go faster, and that's what made him survive another week in the Wild West, or some years for that matter.
The guy with more nerve would be the winner.
So when you say more nerve, what do you mean by that? The guy who is more alert?
No, he's able to wait for the signal rather than to go by himself. Oh, he's confident enough.
So actually the guy who had the balls to wait will live.
Sorry. But you got to be a good observer.
So to win shooting, how they call that, like a shooting match, the guy that moved last win, that's an amazing
and you can
thing I had now.
You can test that, of course.
And you can test that
with a virtual shooter.
We try to do a summary of the amazing lecture we're getting from our new friend Bert, the scientist. So far, with some this study of his, we're talking about muscle function, speed and force. Well, there is isotonic force, which goes, those are the weightlifter, for example. Then the isokinetic force, this is more, has to do with speed. You move a mass of body from one point to B, A to B, faster or slower than the brain functioning. And we got some interesting examples. A ballet dancer can move the back of his feet, the low much faster than any other man, and that comes from practice only. Also practice of a little bit of the muscle itself. But then, the example that would knock this one out is a piano player. We've seen that much bigger part of his brain now was, how do we describe it, like devoted, so it's like a struggle to get more of a brain use, and the hand got much more now. Every finger has a specific point that you can determine. The counter example are kids who their brain function, like you said, diffused faster in time.
If you lose your hand by an accident,
Yes.
that part will shrink very quickly.
That part will shrink.
Yeah, because it's not used anymore.
But will it change place with other use?
Yes, space becomes more important.
Being put on by very supple moving joints.
These are the software carriers. These are the hardware carriers. Let's start with the hardware. The motherboard got 5 processors and a 6th one on the I/O board. The laser room got 4 byte segments, 32 bits I/O. These are the sensing sensors. These are the schematics. These are the academic credentials. We have 2 of them. This one was submitted by Michael Haruni, our head engineer, to the academic faculty of Yehuda v'Shomron. He got a score of 90 and honored with a BTech degree. The only reason it wasn't a full 100 was because of a missing diagram, paperwork. So we could say it was 100, an A. The second one we got from Ort Singalowski, Tel Aviv. It was submitted by our head engineer, Michael Haruni, which honored him with an engineering title.
Rhythm is both the song's manifold and its demonic charms. It is the original breath. It is the whisper and the knitting of the mind. What do you still want of us as a singer? Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Grace Jones, slave to the rhythm.
I'm just playing around with you. Work all day, men who know wheels must turn to keep the flow. Build on up, don't break the chain. Sparks will fly when the whistle blows. Never stop the action. Keep it up, keep it up. Never stop the action. Keep it up. Work to the rhythm. Live to the rhythm. Love to the rhythm. Slave to the rhythm.
Black.
Axe to wood in ancient times. Man machine.
And things on average 60,000 thoughts a day. In order to get to an understanding level of an idea, it usually takes more than 1 or 2 thoughts on the matter. How does understanding occur? Please pay attention to that. Understanding is like building a brick building of numerous floors. The first floor, for example, is made of few ideas that you are sure of. These are called axioms. They are accumulated from self-experience or from words coming from an authority like a professor, doctor, etc. And then the second floor is built on a realization that if all those are true, then this is what I expect next. And there you have your second floor. When attention is diffused, you start fresh sometimes on a whole new idea. The least we could say about that is that the head is disorganized. You see, we have to do the work since epiphanies are not easy to come by.
Do you feel completely abandoned and lost?
What's wrong?
49 divorced.
And are you falling apart?
The mind development is incredible. The mind scientist Professor Bert Otten explains that the mind development is 80% and the body is only 20% while doing those arts. Top right. The readiness potential, the energetic factor that builds in the brain while we make a decision, builds faster so decisions are made quicker.
But why?
Well, he's a
Bottom
very
right.
complicated psychological specimen.
Attention span develops like a muscle. The longer we push it to be alert, the stronger it becomes, meaning more focus for longer periods. Bottom left, neurological correlation between the two cerebral hemispheres is improved.
Badly mutilated soldier whose wounds she was dressing kept saying to her,
Top left,
over
eye
and over
fatigue is
again,
reduced.
Over and over and over again.
מגה חיסכון בטיפולים, רק 95 ש"ח ל-50 דקות טיפול בדוק ומנוסה. רישום ל6 חודשים, 4,560 ש"ח ל6 חודשים, על 3 תשלומים. מינימום 6 חודשים, אנחנו מתעסקים רק עם אנשים שרציניים, לטפל, וזה לא ייקח שבועיים. קורס ווינסונג סיינטיפי, 2 אימונים בשבוע של שעה כל אחד, כולל חדרי הלייזר, ב-640 ש"ח לחודש. אבחונים ל-ADD, ADHD, 1,650 ש"ח. מי נרשם? כל עם ישראל מגיל 6 ומעלה. בעיית תקציב, פנו ל-Human Society לבקש מלגה, כולם צריכים לפתח את המוח ASAP.
Hi there, folks. How are you all doing? Let's raise the conscious level of the folks on this blue moral of ours. A fatherly grandmaster path, rule to follow. Choose a path with a heart. And there is only two of them: evolution and pleasure. Evolution and pleasure. Evolution and pleasure.